Pretty good. Okay, let's move on to the second half of class, which is going to be our hips. Okay, and we're going to focus a lot on, I'd like to focus a lot on the outer hip, the glute med today, which is the central part of your 3 hip muscles. Okay, so let's get our, let's find our foam roller. And let's be on our back, roller in our hands. Let's safely get into this position of lifting up our hips and bringing the roller underneath your sacrum. This is not the curve of your lumbar spine. It's lower than that. You don't want to have this roller up on the curvy part of where your dimples are in your low back. You want to be below that on that nice bony structural shelf there. So engage your core. I'm going to hold on to my roller, pick up one foot and pick up the other foot, and I'm just going to rock my knees from side to side. Your core has to stay engaged the whole time here, okay? So there's no right or wrong way. I'm just going to tell you a whole bunch of different things to do. You guys can stay on one if it feels good. It's really what you want to do. You don't want to stay doing one position if you're not really feeling a whole lot. So let's bring the knees about 30 degrees over to the right and start to make some circles with your knees. My knees are together and my ankles are together. I'm going to change direction, and I'm noticing that the bigger I make my circle, the more I'm getting into the tissue of the outer hip, right? I'm going to bicycle my knees back and forth, and I'm going to go over to the other side. And I'm just looking. I did a big hip foam roller work yesterday. I went for a walk and I had that big workout in the morning with the resistance bands, and my hips were so tight when I was walking. I came home and I was listening to a book on tape, and I did a whole bunch of foam roller work, so I'm feeling really, really good today. And I'm kind of chugging my knees left to right. I found a spot. I'm on my outer hip and I feel it in my hamstring. That's a referral. That's like an unhealthy kind of a pathway there, and I'm going to see if I can kind of get that to go away. So I'm going to work on that leg where I feel that sensation going down into my hamstring and see if I can get that to go away. I'm just bending and extending my knee. I'm rocking on and off of it. You don't want to stay on something to the point of like bruising, and we don't want to be in a lot of pain, right? We don't want to make the connective tissue any tighter and more in a state of trauma than it might already be. Okay, lift your hips, take your roller out from underneath, come to a seated position, bring your roller behind you. You're in the center of your mat. Put your hands down, put one hand on your roller, one hand on the mat, lift up and come to a seated position. I'm making a federal case out of that because some people have a really hard time doing that. Not you guys, so, okay. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna focus on the meat of the outer glute. So I'm gonna bump my hips slightly to the right, and I'm gonna roll onto my outer glute. I can come on my hand, I can come down onto my elbow, but my core is engaged. We want to protect the back here, and I'm bending and extending my knees. I'm going to go up, kind of up towards the top of the sacrum there, where your piriformis is, and I'm going to rock my knees from side to side. This feels really good. If you feel a particular sensation here with your knees over to one side and your roller not on your glutes, and not in your low back, but on that space in between, you can take that right knee, that right leg, you can dorsiflex, toes to the nose, you can bend and extend or maybe sweep. If you're if you're in like a good spot there, you want to breathe. It feels really good. You can rock your knees from side to side. That's cross-fiber spanning, cross-fibering on that connective tissue, which is really good. We're kind of scribbling on it and saying, okay, you're not used to this kind of movement, and so it'll respond. And we want it to respond in a positive way, right? Of opening some of those channels and gates so we can get some blood flow in there. That feels really, really good. Okay, so come back up so that you're seated. We're gonna stay on this side. You're gonna bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. And now you're gonna lift up your left hand and roll your right knee down towards the mat. So your knee is going towards the mat. Everybody wants to go to the other side. I want you to roll slightly. Now we've really popped out this muscle here and this glute. And I'm just doing some mini bends and extends, and I can kind of rock my knee from side to side. We're in a different part of the glute. So I'm above the sit bone. If I go too far down to the sit bone, that's not gonna be so great. I've just exposed more and pushed out the meaty part of this muscle out here, and I'm working through here. All right, same thing. You can sweep, you can bend and extend. All right, let's go to the other side. Wow, does that feel good? So you're seated on your roller, use your core. Don't hurt yourself trying to get on here. I'm gonna bump my hips slightly to the right. I'm gonna drop my knees to the left. And I'm just going to rock my knees from side to side, and I'm gonna go up towards my SI joint, like the little dimple that's in the low back. Not gonna roll on that joint, and then I'm gonna go down towards your sit bone, right? You can feel your outer hip here. Then I'm gonna bring my left ankle on top. I'm not feeling a whole lot there, so I'm gonna make this a little bit more challenging. My left ankle's on my right knee. I'm gonna pick up my right hand, bump my hip over so that I've got enough roller here underneath this hip. You can even bring your hand to your ankle. And I'm gonna roll with this new exposed tissue here. I like to rock my knee from side to side and cross fiber and span that tissue that way. Remember, you can bend and extend if you find a particular sticky spot, and you can sweep. You can sweep the leg. Good breathing. I just heard some breathing out there. Good job. That's what I want to hear.
It's a sore spot.
Sore spot. Okay. Let's find the sore spot and talk about it. So I've got a sore spot right here. It's going down. This spot is making it go down my IT band, on my outer calf, and into the bottom of my foot. I would call that a referral. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rock off of it until I don't feel that pathway. I'm going to roll onto it just until I feel the pathway. It's right there. It's just starting to feel the twinge going down. And I'm going to stop right there before it's really intense, just when you start to feel. And I want you to breathe into it. And what I want, okay, now mine completely backed off and it disappeared. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try and find it again. And it might take a little bit more movement. Okay, here it is. I'm feeling it. It's going down my IT band, my outer calf, and down into my foot. I'm going to relax my foot, and I'm going to breathe. And what I'm thinking about in my visualization is a thermometer where the mercury is rising. I want you to relax into this until the mercury drops, until you feel it actually pull out, right? This is neuromuscular therapy, NMT. Now I'm going to come off of it completely, and I'm going to try and recreate this sensation. And I might have to move a little bit further or have a little bit more pressure on this spot. You can book a massage therapy with someone who's trained in this. It's called NMT. You're perfectly awake and talking to it's not a relaxing massage. You're talking to your massage therapist the whole way. They're looking for trigger points, and then they work on this. They go in until you feel the referral, and then you tell them when it releases, and then they back off, and then they go to do it again. And hopefully, you can get to a point where you can't recreate that referral anymore, and what you've done is you've retrained that neural pathway, and that's a good thing. Let's come off of your foam roller, and let's move into some all right, let's do one thing. Grab your ball. You can do this with one ball or two balls, okay? I'll demonstrate it with two balls. And let's this time put a block at the bottom of our mat so that we can have our hips lifted up higher and we can lower down and lift up and control the pressure that we have on the ball. So let's start with 2 balls. My feet are on my block. My glutes are pretty close to my block, and I'm going to lift up and I'm going to put this, I'm going to put these balls down on my, just below my sacrum, and I'm just going to scoop my butt from side to side. So you're basically at the top of your butt crack, right? So you can do this with 2 balls. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing with my feet. My knees are to the left, my hips are to the right. I'm lifting my hips up a little bit. Now I'm going to drop my hips down and I'm going to scoop over to the left. And then I'm going to lift my hips a little bit. I call it the boot scoop. Then I'm going to drop my hips down and I'm going to come over. The knees don't move very much, right? You can take this and you can put it higher on your high glute. Remember, you're not on your SI joint. We're just working in through this glute. I've got both balls going at the same time. Why not, right? Let's be efficient here. So I'm just scooping and sliding and scooting and sliding. Okay, lift up your hips, put your hips down. I'm going to go to a larger ball just because I have one in my hand. And I'm going to roll to the left and I'm going to trap this ball in my outer glute, outer hip here. And I'm going to lift up and I'm going to kind of chug around on that outer hip. So now my hips, my knees are pretty far over to the right. My hips are lifted and I'm working on this glute tissue here. And I can lift up and I can also put it in my low back muscle on the right, your spine stabilizing muscle on the right. That would be right above the hip. I can put my hips down and I can move that ball around and just rock my knees over and trap the ball in that tissue. And kind of work on the low back here, which is going to directly affect how we feel in our hip. Or you just trap this ball in that hip and wave that knee. My hips are down. I like to have the foot elevated just because it helps me with more control on the ball, but it's not necessary. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we already did the double. I'm just going to take the single ball and I'm going to put it under my left glute and I'm going to work the tissue all around anything that would be a bone. All around the hip bone. Oh, I feel it on this side. Wow. So go nice and slow and wave that knee and see if you can feel what you want to feel here. Remember, we're looking for sensation. Okay, I got a spot. It's in my outer glute, kind of high. And I'm just going to bring my knee to my chest. And I'm going to extend my leg. Nice big breaths. And I'm going to make some circles with my knee. So we're going to put that joint through some ranges of motion, right? Knee in, knee out. Knee in, knee towards the chest and knee back. And then you can also just kind of find your spot, and what we call that, we just call that pin and drape. And find that spot, or if you're feeling like it's a referral, you can do the referral work, where you move your body till you just feel that sensation starting to go towards an extremity. And then you hang there and you breathe and you wait for it to pull out. And I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to go up past the SI joint, I'm going to scoot the ball in, I'm going to find off my spinal column on the left, and I'm just going to rock on and rock off and just give this low back a little bit of love. If the low back is tight, it's going to pull the hips out of alignment. If your hip flexors are tight, if your quads are tight, it's going to pull your hips forward out of alignment. So when we talk hips It's never just the hip, right? It's never just the hip. All right, couple more passes here. Find what feels good. Okay, push your balls off to the side and come to a seated position. We're gonna do some mobility work. And it's just gonna be active stretching. So let's find a 90-90 position where we have our right, come forward. We have our right foot, right shin parallel to your mat. You're facing your right shin, right? So you're facing forward. So my right foot is here on the left, my right knee is here, my shoulders are squared. That's right. Good, Julie. Okay. Then you're going to take your left knee and you're going to bring it behind you so that it's in line with your hip. And ideally, your ankle is in line with your knee. So you've got 90. Bring your right knee forward so it's in line with your hip. 90, 90. Okay? This is not easy. So we're just going to dive down over this front knee and bend your elbows if you do a push-up. You should feel this in the back of your thigh, back of your hip, hamstring. You're going to be over here, right? Then you're going to come forward, and you're going to kind of come forward here. All right, and then I want you to bring your left hand to your left ankle, and we're going to try to stand up and be as tall as possible. And I'm going to lift my back knee as I karate chop my left inside of my left foot into the mat. So I'm going to open and close with a nice straight spine and lifting and lowering my back knee with my inside of my back foot on the mat. So this is going to show you your hip strength, right? Good, Sharon. I can't see your back knee, Julie, but I'm sure you've got it. Okay, keep it here. If you need to, take your hand, punch in, get some blood flow to that outer hip, or you can take your knuckle and you can kind of get it in here, all right? We're trying to stay as tall as possible, so walk your hand back. So now we're going to lift the back ankle and we're going to lower. So the front knee, the back knee is going to stay down, and you're going to lift and lower. You're just going to maybe think about it. Think about lifting an inch and then lowering, and then think about it. Okay, let me show you what cheating is. Okay? We want to keep a nice straight spine. You guys aren't doing it. I'm just kind of showing you what the path of least resistance is. Okay, you can continue with either one of those if you found that you needed to do this strengthening work here, or you want to work there, or you're going to lift up and you're going to bring your knee forward and you're going to kick it back, and you're going to try and keep your shin parallel to the ground. This is strength and flexibility. One more pass, and then just let it go. I'm just going to sit with my legs out in front. Whew. Right? Strength and mobility, all part of the flexibility equation. Okay. Left shin parallel to the front of the mat, knee in line with the hip. We're looking for a 90, 90. Now it's easier to have your back heel close to your glute. It's harder to have your back heel in line with your knee, and this side is going to be harder for me. So I just want you to sit here for a minute. Look at your alignment. Maybe this is where you spend the next couple minutes breathing, right? So I've got my toe, my ankle in dorsiflexion, meaning my back ankle, my toes are towards my knee. I'm going to stay nice and tall by putting my hand either on my ankle or my shin or my knee, and I'm going to lift the back knee and I'm going to lower. And I'm going to inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. I'm going to scoot my knee back a little bit because I want to make sure that it's in line with my hip. And then I'm going to hold this knee down, and without leaning forward too much, I'm going to lift that back ankle up. Yeah, I don't have nearly the range of motion on this side. That's okay. Even if you think about it and you lift a 1/16 of an inch, you're engaging that outer hip muscle, right? And we're strengthening it. We're training it to be comfortable at longer range and greater ranges of motion. Okay. All right. So now we're going to lift the back leg and we're going to bring it forward and we're going to kick it back. So what you want to work for here is you want to work for a shin that's parallel to the ground. Lifting as high as possible. All right, and then let's release. Just bring the legs forward. You can make some circles with your ankles. And that's kind of crazy, isn't it? It's kind of a crazy one. Okay, let's come on our back. And do our figure 4 flossing. Right ankle, left knee. Interlace your hands, put them behind your right knee. So you can have your head on a bolster here. You can have your head on a block. Your left foot is going to stay down. If you find that it's uncomfortable for you, you're going to take a block and you're going to put your left foot on a block. So your right ankle is on your left knee. To engage this hip, we're stretching the hip. We're going to kick the knee into the hand. So if I push my knee into my hand and I pull slightly with my hand, I automatically feel this tissue out here lighting up. This is good. We're working the structural fascia. Now I'm going to drag that knee over towards the left shoulder and then I'm going to release. So option 1 is head down. We're just engaging and elongating. Engage and lengthen. Or you engage and you curl your chin to your chest without lifting your head up too much and you drag across to the other shoulder. Okay, move that block if you used it over to the right. Put your right foot on the block or your right foot's going to be on the mat. Other side, same thing. Basket grip, left knee, left ankle, right knee. Push your knee into your hand, bend your elbows and drag it across. Inhale, push, exhale, lengthen. Inhale, engage, exhale, lengthen. Adding the chin tuck without lifting. Just bring your chin to your chest. Don't think about lifting your head above the mat. It's actually a good neck stretch. Good. Okay, lose the block completely if you used your block. Whoop. Those are my glasses. I can't break those. All right, let's go back to right ankle, left knee. Now you're going to pick up your left foot and weave your right hand through the gap. Good. So to engage, I feel this right away. So to engage the outer hip, I'm going to push my right ankle into my left knee. I'm kicking it. I'm plugging it towards the wall in front of me. And then I'm going to bend my elbows and I'm going to think about bringing my left shoulder, my ankle knee connection towards my left shoulder. I can curl up into a ball if I want. So you inhale, kick away, exhale, tuck, curl it in. Inhale, kick away, exhale, tuck it in. You can cross over to the other shoulder, but I find that tracking to the same shoulder is harder. And then I'm not repeating what I just did on the other side. Okay, let's switch sides. Right foot down, left ankle, right knee. This is figure 4, supine figure 4. Lift up your right foot, weave your left hand through the gap, interlace underneath the knee. So let's look at alignment. You want this knee-ankle connection to be in line with your right shoulder. So you want both of your hips to be heavy on the mat and you're breathing. Inhale, kick the ankle away, feel the muscle engage, and then exhale, lengthen that muscle, lengthen that muscle. So each time maybe you go a little bit further, your head can be down, your head can be up. You can bring that ankle-knee connection, that little cross there, you can bring it over towards the same shoulder, which is what I'm doing, or you can cross it over and you can bring your chin to your chest. Whatever feels good here. mermaid. So this is some nice strength and flexibility work, and it's going to work our shoulders and it's going to work our hips. So bring your foam roller about a quarter of the way down the top of your mat. I'm sitting on my right hip and my knees are over here to the left. So my right thigh is parallel to my foam roller. So I've got a line here, left to right, with my knee and my hip, and I have a line here, left to right, with my foam roller, okay? I'm gonna keep my bottom leg exactly the way it is. I'm gonna lift up my back knee and bring it to my foot behind me. So if you guys do Pilates, this is mermaid on the reformer, we're gonna do mermaid on the roller. So I want you to bring your left hand over and just take a few breaths here. And I want you to try and square your hips. Square your chest. And I'm flanking my roller. My left hand is on the left side of the roller, my right hand is on the right side. If you have a big long roller, your hands are on top of your roller, okay? So I'm just gonna sink my right hip down and think about bringing my left hip forward before we start to move. My belly button is rotated towards the roller. All right, bring your hands gently up onto the roller. Take a nice big inhale, and then an exhale with your shoulders square to the mat and your knees down. You're gonna extend your arms out and bring your forehead down towards the mat. You're gonna inhale here and then do cobra. With straight arms, you're gonna start pulling the roller towards you. You're gonna pull your chest through with a nice straight spine until you're in an upward cobra position. Keep your right hand on the roller, bring your left arm up and over, and you can hold on to your left knee. I like to bring my hand to my right knee and then bring my right arm up, arm by the ear, and then do a side body bend. Barely anything there. And then bring your hands back to the roller and dive down, and you go a little bit further. My arms are like Superman, my fingers are straight. Take a nice big inhale here, and then lift, 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 drag back, tuck your chin, lengthen, come up a little bit higher, a little bit higher. When your hand is on the roller, you come around, try to square your shoulders, left shoulder forward, right shoulder back, and do a nice side body bend, and then come around and dive down. There's your exhale. Take an inhale. On your next inhale, lift. Straighten your spine, tuck your chin, lengthen crown of head, push with your hands, push with your wrists. Lift, lift, lift. Hand stays on the roller, get into position. I've got my left hand on my right knee. I just like that because it keeps my left shoulder forward, and I'm gonna do a side body bend. Karate chop your instep of your left foot into the mat. There's your hip. And release. You guys feel that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hands down, feet flat. We're gonna windshield wiper, okay? Bring both of your knees to the left so that your right knee is inside your left foot. They're touching. And relax your left knee to the mat. Now open your right knee up, but keep your left knee down. Open, open, open. Open, open, open. When you can't go anymore, the left knee comes over and it sits inside your right foot. Engage your core. I'm pushing with my hands to have a proud chest. Lift the left knee. Breathe. Come on over. Let's do one more. Keep the left knee down. Open, open, open. And come around. Okay, mermaid on the other side, and then we're done. Okay. I make a federal case out of setting this stuff up because I want you guys to be in proper alignment when you do this, okay? My foam roller is parallel. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. All right. Thigh is parallel to the front, to the top of the mat, not the shin. Okay. Left hip to the left, left knee to the right knee to the instep of my left foot. Sorry about that, I don't know what happened there, I got confused. Okay, so first I'm just gonna flank the roller. I'm gonna bring my hands on either side, okay? My left thigh is parallel to my roller. I'm gonna bring my shoulders forward, and I'm just gonna try and get comfortable here. Find my breath. I'm gonna bring my hands up onto the roller. Take a nice big inhale, and then an exhale, I'm gonna walk out. The roller's on my wrists, the roller's on my forearms. My ears are inside my biceps. And I'm gonna push, 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 push. And I'm gonna lift like I'm doing cobra in yoga. My arms are perfectly straight. Tuck your chin, nice straight spine. Bring my right hand over, grab onto the wrist or the foot or the knee. And then bring the left arm up, bicep by the ear, and do a side body bend. And then dive down onto your roller, bend elbows, go all the way out. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. Straight spine, belly is forward. I'm gonna bring my right hand to my left knee, and I'm gonna do not much of a side body bend. I am stiff. I'm gonna dive down. So I'm gonna lift like cobra in yoga, straight arms. I'm pressing my forearms down, pressing my wrists down. Tuck your chin. Pull your belly button to your spine. Lift, lift, lift. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Don't rush this part. And then nice side body bend. Squaring your shoulders. Come on over. And release. So let's just rest. Bring your foam roller up to the top. You don't even have to do this. Do anything you want. We're just going to lie flat. I like to put my head on the back of the foam roller. You can lie perfectly flat. Arms out. Nice and relaxed. If the foam roller is too much, take it out. We're just going to scan the body, palms face up. Toes flop out, heels are in. Your hips should feel even, your shoulders should feel even. Let the backs of your hands settle, let your outer heels settle. And we are done here. I'm going to leave you here. Thank you for joining class today. You can stay here as long as you would like.